Hi viewers, and welcome to another episode of On the Farm, where we are vocal about everything local. I am Shakima Hanley. On this episode of On the Farm, we'll be speaking to a nutritionist, Mrs. Renell Daniel. And before we get into the discussion, we take a short break and be right back after this.
Fresh local fruit and vegetables produced for our nourishment. Buy local, eat local.
Welcome back, viewers. I'm going to ask my guest, who is with me today, to introduce herself for this episode of On the Farm.
Thank you for having me. My name is Renell Daniel. I am a nutritionist as well as the owner of A Better You Nutrition Consultants, and I'm happy to be here today with you.
So, children tend to find it difficult to consume vegetables. What creative approach can be taken that parents can use to ensure that children still get things that are tasty and maintain the nutritional value for these foods?
There are some ways that you can employ, and it's a work in progress. Mm-hmm. Children, and sometimes we think as adults that lessons that we would have learned over the past 20 years, mm-hmm. we get frustrated when a child doesn't learn it in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks. We are on this journey to eat healthy. We want our families to eat healthy, but it's not automatic. Mm-hmm. It's not automatic. It's a process. And with children, we have to find creative ways of introducing them to food, mm-hmm. making food an experience mm-hmm. rather than just a meal. Correct. It can't just be a meal. Food can't just be a way to just stop hunger. Mm-hmm. I think we may be past that a bit, where we are just stopping hunger, just give a child something to eat and that's it, just to stop the hunger. No, mm-hmm. it's an experience. We want our children to not be caged, so to speak, or imprisoned by the food they eat. Yeah. Meaning, in 10 years now, they've developed diabetes. Now they've developed hypertension and cancers, mm-hmm. God forbid. But we don't want them to be imprisoned by the food that's available. Mm-hmm. We want our children to learn to make choices mm-hmm. that would help them to live healthy lives, as well as a long life that mm-hmm. would allow them to reach their full potential. Yeah. So that means making food an experience. Yeah. So for school meals, when I was at school meals, we did a tour around the Caribbean menu. We did a tour around the world menu, and this was to pique interest mm-hmm. in the foods that were available throughout the world. Nice. And it's not just about eating the chicken and chips anymore. It's about, where do potatoes come from? Why do we tend to fry potatoes? Can we eat potatoes another way? Mm-hmm. And it's engaging the children. Oh, it takes more work. Mm-hmm. It definitely takes more work on the behalf of the adults and the persons that are preparing the meal, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Eventually, children will open up to food being an experience. Mm-hmm. So it's no longer pizza from the United States. Pizza originated in Italy. Mm-hmm. It's tomato based. We have local tomatoes. Mm-hmm. Where can you find a farm that has local tomatoes? Or we have tomatoes in our backyard. Mm-hmm. And it's engaging the children about where food come from, where foods would come from, mm-hmm. and how to prepare those foods in a way that would be tasty. Mm-hmm. So you can make your own tomato sauce at home. When I came into marketing this morning, I said, what do you have available? We have a large amount of tomatoes available right now, and that's another niche too. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we can get into that. Making our own locally produced tomato sauce, making our own locally produced tomato-based items that would have a higher nutrition content. And then our children, now they learn that, you don't actually have to buy pasta sauce in the store. You can actually just get tomatoes from your garden or from marketing and make your own pasta sauce. And they become engaged and intrigued. And it takes time, because the first response would probably be, ew, no, I want the pizza sauce that's in the store. But that's the first response. Mm-hmm. But that, if parents continue, that won't be the last response.
And I'm interested mm-hmm. you made mention of the chicken and chips too, because I find that there is a healthier way to consume chicken and chips. Mm-hmm. I don't eat chicken, let me put that there. But I would have been living in Guyana for a period of time studying there, and I realized instead of potato French fries, they use plantain as a substitute. So that too can also be a different twist, a healthy approach for them to use chicken and chips as opposed to the old potato and fries and stuff like that.
You are absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I'm so glad you brought that up. Even within school meals, we try to substitute the potato with sweet potato.
Okay.
So you do a sweet potato fry, although it's still fried. You have to marry the taste. It's not a complete cut out of fries. Okay, I'm not gonna consume fries ever again because it's fried or it's deep fried. No, you have to we have to try to marry the taste with the nutritional content. So instead of using potatoes, you use sweet potatoes. And you don't have to do it that often. It may be just a treat because it's fried. And the different things, you can bake your...
You can bake it,
Yes, and there's no added benefit with air frying. There's so many things that you don't actually have to use the oil to get that same crispy taste. So there's different things that we can employ that would help our children see the value of healthy eating, of increasing the nutritional content of their food, and that's very important because I find that we focus more on energy, the carbs that give us energy rather than on the nutritional content of our meals. And the reason why nutrition, the nutritional content of our meals is so important is because our immune system works on all those nutrients that would be in our meals. We boost our immune system when we eat more fruits and vegetables. It's just a fact. And because we boost our immune system, then we will be able to fight off the colds and the coronavirus. We will be able to fight off many diseases that we won't be subjected to becoming diabetic so early in life, because our cells would react a little bit better because we have an added amount of nutrients within our diets. And God made our bodies resilient, and this is something I keep on saying, because our bodies were made to soak up all the nutrients and do a feedback mechanism. Even though we may have a meal that would be high in preservatives, high in fat, our bodies tend to take what it needs and pass out the rest. So our livers filter, our kidneys filter, and a lot of times if we don't have the nutrients in our bodies to help our bodies filter the negative things in our food, our bodies succumb to diseases. Naturally, our bodies would find its own equilibrium, its own balance. Naturally, our bodies would tend to, it's like a music, it tends to find a balance where it's filtering out all these preservatives, the things that are unwanted. It passes out through our urine, through our stools, through our sweat, and our bodies would find its own balance where we are living healthy. And sometimes I think we tend to forget the importance of fruits and vegetables to our diets. It's very, very important, and especially for children that are growing. They need the fruits and vegetables to help their bodies find that equilibrium or find that balance where they are living healthy, where they are warding off diseases naturally without any intervention with medications. And that's the beauty of it. Your body finds its own natural balance where it's getting rid of the cancer cells daily rather than letting the cancer cells build up, and then we have to try to zap it or try to use medications to get rid of it. Yes, use the pharmaceuticals to get rid of it. So now if we are consuming a lot more fruits and vegetables that are locally produced, our bodies just soak up the vitamin C, soak up the phytochemicals and the things that boost our immune system, so that we don't have to succumb to these diseases over time.
And I'm happy that you stress on that, because I'm a person, I don't like medication at all. Pharmaceuticals, no. If I have a pain, I quicker take the pain before I run and take a tablet or whatever the case is. So I try my best to eat healthy fruits, vegetables, those things that are based on my diet on a regular basis. Painkillers? That's not me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? It's not something that you're born knowing. It's something that's taught.
Correct.
It's something that's taught, and we have to teach our children.
Yes.
It's paramount that we focus on teaching our children how to eat healthy, so that it's not something that you just happen to find out at 30. Oh, I should be doing this. No, it's something that would have been a lifestyle.
And I agree because, as you say, something that is taught. We have learned that sometimes if you feel the slightest of pain, the first thing you should do is take a painkiller. As opposed to if you feel pain, maybe it's just a headache, you could drink some water. It helps to reduce the headache and stuff like that. As opposed to taking up a tablet and swallow it just like that.
Well, there are different ways to combat it, because headaches are a sign of something else.
Yes.
Yeah? And a lot of times we are taught as children, or even as adults, we are taught to ignore certain body signals. So if your head, as you said, if your head hurts, you take a painkiller. If your feet hurts, then you just ignore it, just continue until you go rest or something like that. But there are certain triggers, or there are certain things that you shouldn't ignore. Your body, as I said, has a feedback mechanism where if you're low in blood sugar, your head would hurt because there's not enough blood sugar to help sustain the functions in your brain, or it might be something else. So it's not something that we should ignore by just taking a tablet. Dry lips, that's also indication of low water content in your body, where you're supposed to be drinking more water. So there are many things. Calves, when your calves hurt, that's not something that you should ignore. That's actually indication of dehydration also, and it could be something else. It could be something else. So it's not something that you should ignore. The pains within your body would. I usually tell my clients, your body isn't going to sacrifice your heart for your skin. Meaning, if your skin is dry, right? If your skin, let's say your skin is dry, that's an indication that you need more water. Your body is gonna, if you don't have enough water, your body is gonna try to maintain the function of your heart, your brain, your liver, and all these things, and leave your skin dry. It's just how your body works. Your body wants you to stay upright. It wants you to continue to function. So you have to be aware of the signals of your body. You have to be aware of where the pain is, where the dry skin is, the different things, even odors within our bodies. Those are indication of something else that's happening, and that's a part of nutrition too. Yeah. So I've given you a lot of information.
Interestingly, you brought that because it brings me to my next question. Nutrition is not based on what we consume, but also what happens to the outer part of our body. So what is your take on using oils, soaps, things that are made from local natural products? How can that help our body externally?
Well, it can help your body internally as well, because our skin can be very porous in that it absorbs a lot of things. A lot of the oils and the lotions that we put on our skin, they actually get absorbed into the skin and into our bodies eventually. But a lot of the lotions that we import, or the things that we would normally use from buying in the store, those things contain a lot of chemicals and toxins and dyes and things that now scientists are saying linked to other diseases. So over time, scientists are now seeing that these dyes and the preservatives within certain products are now linked to Alzheimer's, cancers, and many other diseases that we are seeing in the older population. Using locally made products gives your body a chance to focus on what's important. It's important for me to keep my heart beating. It's important for me to have a good digestive system where my colon is working pretty well. I'm not producing any polyps, and it gives your body a chance to get rid of those things that may cause may cause ill disease or may cause ill health in the future. So using local products, whether it's coconut oil or local lotions or even local deodorants. I know I have a friend there that sells local deodorants in Value Mart.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, locally produced deodorants and natural, very naturally based deodorants, as well as lotions and hair products. And I have several friends that produce hair products, and it's amazing that our bodies soak up those hair products so much better than the ones that are imported. So definitely, I would encourage our viewers to try locally produced products. Give it a really good try that you would and see how your body reacts to it, and you can log the effects that it will have. You can say, okay, I'm just gonna try that because Miss Daniel said, well, try it, and you can see the effects after a week, 2 weeks.
Yes,
of using something that was locally made. And that's something that you could even try at home. These products are made for convenience, but if the funds are lacking, if they're a little bit outside your price range and that's not something you budgeted for, you can make a version of that at home yourself. Because the YouTube videos on how to produce these products are innumerable. You have so many videos as to how to do it yourself at home if you have the time. Now, if you don't have the time, then buy it from someone that would have made it already.
So my last question to you, Renell, based on your observation, what our eating patterns are like?
As a country, generally?
Let's stay within the country, yes, as a country.
Okay. From observations and from the number of cases of diabetes and hypertension that we have, it's sad to report that we do focus more on taste rather than on living a healthy lifestyle. We tend to eat a lot of fried products. We tend to eat more salty products as well as products that are high in fat because they taste better. And that's something that we can't dispute as nutritionists. It tastes better when you have something it stimulates your taste buds more when you have something that's high in salt or something that's higher in fat. It makes you feel a little bit more satisfied than if you were eating a couple mangoes or you were eating tomatoes or something like that. So it's that's the challenge. We do have people that only change their diet after the onset of disease. And it's something that I know the Ministry of Health is working on, and at school meals they're also working on that to change that culture where we are not on the back end of NCDs or non-communicable diseases. We are not fighting this after the fact, that we are trying to get our population to see the value in incorporating fruits and vegetables into your meal daily. And it's something that should be a habit that we should be forming as we go along and teaching our children. Now, children don't get this right. They don't, and that's something I want to stress because I've gotten this question a lot. It's like, no, my child wouldn't eat it, but they wouldn't. They're not gonna taste it. They're not gonna taste it now. They're gonna eat it now, but 2 months down the road, 3 months, maybe a year down the road, they're probably gonna eat. Yes, they will learn to appreciate it if you stick to it. Correct. And you try to engage them. What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? Oh, I don't like the onions in it. Okay, well, that would be an indication for the parents to blend the onions rather than putting them in a whole. Yes, and they're different until they learn to appreciate it, but not giving up throwing in the towel and saying, okay, you can have pizza today, tomorrow, and maybe we'll have some chicken on Friday. But a lot of times we tend to not stick to it.
That's true.
And the reason why we're not sticking to it is because we are eating an elephant whole. I know I have a lot of analogies, but I usually tell my daughter, how do you eat an elephant? You eat it piece by piece. You don't just stick the whole thing down your throat. And
Right.
sometimes with healthy eating, I find that we are consuming too much. We tend to break up big chunks.
Yes.
So if you want to live a healthier lifestyle, the first thing you need to do, a rule of thumb, is when you're eating, always say, okay, I'm eating eggs and cheese today. What's my vegetable? What's my fruit? What's my fruit? Try to incorporate all of
Yes.
these into every meal. So I'm having a snack. Okay, I'm having some chips. Maybe that might not be the right option, but what's my fruit or vegetable next to my chips or whatever it is that I'm consuming? And eventually, you'd find that at every meal, you're having some sort of fruit or vegetable, some sort of local fruit and vegetable, and eventually you'll have your taste for the salty foods and the fatty foods decreases over time. Over time, after a year or 2 years, maybe 3 or 4 years of doing it, over time you would tend to never sit down to have a meal without a fruit or vegetable next to you.
Well, Miss Danielle, it was a mouthful.
Oh dear.
And it was very informative, and I do hope that the viewers appreciate what was said today. And I would like to thank you again for being here on the farm with me, and continue doing the great work that you're doing.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you'll see results. More persons are going to start to consume their veggies and their fruits, of course, and also the children will also follow once they realize their parents are doing it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, then we'll do have a good one, and thank you
you
again.
Thank you.
And there you have it, viewers. Another episode of On the Farm, where we are vocal about everything local. And just to recap, we had a nutritionist, Mrs. Renell Daniel, who spoke a little bit of how important it is to consume local products, how to take care not only on the inside of our body, but also the outside of our bodies, regarding what we eat, what we put on our skin. And until next time, this was On the Farm. Remember, we are vocal about everything local. I am Shakima Hanley.